This is a real opportunity for Lynn Haven, for the city of Lynn Haven, to clean up government. The election is underway, as a matter of fact. Early voting and mail-in voting has already taken place. And right now, it continues until Friday. Tuesday is election day. And you know Lynn Haven has been mired in corruption. The mayor has been arrested and charged with more than 60 counts. So has the city attorney, Adam Albritton, and the big developer, of course, James Finch. You know the whole story. So what are they going to do? Are they going to elect the same people who are propped up by the establishment, or are they going to do something different? We'll find out soon. But today they had a city commission meeting, and it was long. I mean, they were voting on so many different things today, and the citizens showed up. It was a packed house. Let me tell you something about local government. They hate when you show up to the meetings. And the people who went to the meetings today, they had something to say. They went up and they had something to say, and they were all very professional and very passionate as this election race continues. I have things to tell you you're not going to believe. You're not going to believe. First of all, let me show you a little bit about what happened at the meeting today. All right. And then I'm going to explain to you who I think the most reasonable candidates are. I mean, if you want something that's independent, right? If you want something where their constituents are you and not the big contractors, I think Lynn Haven might be about ready for that. Today, I want to focus on the mayoral race. Tomorrow, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the two Lynn Haven commissioner races, because there are people I think that you should vote for. And in case you don't stick around, I'll tell you who they are right now. There are two names. If you're in Lynn Haven and you're voting and you haven't done it yet, there are two names that will change everything because they're independent. The first one is Jamie Warwick. Jamie Warwick, in my opinion, that's who I would vote for if I lived in Lynn Haven. No question about it. He's an Air Force vet too, like me. The other one is an Army veteran, infantryman, 4 combat tours, 2 master's degrees, a bachelor's degree, and he is a certified counselor with the VA, and he's lived in Lynn Haven forever. Brian Gray is his name. He's running the other commission race. That's who I would vote for, Brian Gray and Jamie Warwick. But what a lot of people were upset about at the Lynn Haven meeting today is the last meeting. They have 2 meetings a month, right? Every 2 weeks or so. And the citizens wanted different times. Don't do them in the morning each time, and don't do them at night each time. Maybe have one in the morning, say 9 o'clock, and then maybe one in the evening, like 6 o'clock. But at the meeting 2 weeks ago, Commissioner Brandon Aldridge, young Brandon Aldridge, he made a motion. He said, okay, I'm listening to the people. I'm willing to compromise. He said, let's do it at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. That's not a whole hell of a lot different. It's still in the work day, right, for people. But I want to show you the way Commissioner Aldridge talked to everybody about this, the way he justified it. Tell me if he seems annoyed just a little bit.
Sure. And if I could speak to it real quick as well, since I'm the one that made the motion and my name's the one being thrown around. The biggest argument that I keep hearing is that people can't make it to the meetings at 9 a.m. My argument is, look at the room.
Missing work.
Who's missing? Is anyone
missing work to come today?
Right, but my point is, you can come, right? I'm missing work too.
Well, you got elected.
Most people can't.
My point is, your argument is people don't come to the meetings at 9. My point is, look at the room. I mean, there's people that come, just like we said last week. If you have a city issue, you'll find a way to come to the meetings. I mean, I just don't understand. I guess the board is here to do the business of the city, to keep the city moving forward, And that's what we're here to do, to work, to do a job, okay? And that's what we're trying to do. Everyone else, almost in the entire stinking state, has their meetings in the morning. Panama City has theirs at 8:30 in the morning. I think the county does too, actually, has it at 8:30 in the morning. So I felt like it was compromise. If it was up to me, we'd have them both at 8:30 in the morning. I would love that. But my compromise was, let's have one in the morning and then let's have one in the afternoon. It's still 4 o'clock in the afternoon that we're having the second meeting. So the fact that I'm not compromising at all is just wrong. I mean, who's not compromising? I kept the 9 o'clock and then I moved to another one. Well, you don't like me moving to the other one. So, I mean, come on, guys. We're here to move the city forward, and that's probably the last thing I'm going to say about it, because I agree with Mayor Pro Tem Russell. I have not had one single person call me.
That was his gotcha, by the way. Look at the room; it's full. We don't need to change them. It's 9 o'clock. The room is full. Why do we need to change the meeting? That was his gotcha argument. How many more people might have shown up if it was at 6 o'clock? And as many people walked up, boy, and laid it on him, I'll tell you right now, just because these people are here, many of whom are retired, there are nurses who cannot leave their patients at 4 o'clock or at 9 o'clock. They're saying, damn, just have one meeting a month at, say, 6. But he said, look, the room is full. And then he said, if it's important enough to you, you'll find a way. And he said, I'm missing work too. This is your work. This is what you ran for. I mean, that is so insulting and condescending for a young, new politician to already have that attitude for the people. And he was the establishment choice, the Arthur Cullen choice. Actually, the way it works around here is the contractors decide who they want to run. I'm telling you the truth. It doesn't matter which city. And then they get Arthur Cullen, who is the best campaign manager, almost 100% win rate. Pay him whatever they pay him. I don't know if his current candidate has paid him anything. I'll have to go look at the bayvotes.org to see if his current candidate for mayor has paid him anything. I mean, I'm sure he doesn't work for free. But anyway, these are the establishment candidates. The meeting went on, and we had the mayor pro tem. It's Dan Russell, okay? And part of the reason that so many people were at this meeting in Lynn Haven. Now, understand, Lynn Haven is a city of about 23,000 residents. There are about 15,000 registered voters, but only about 1,500 actually voted last time. But why was there such a big response? Why were so many citizens and residents informed about all of the items on the agenda? There were about 4 times more items on the agenda that they were going to be voting on that had major impacts on the residents, major impacts on traffic, on safety, all kinds of stuff. I'll tell you one reason people have been so much more informed in the past 2 years. It's because of this page right here. This is that the people running that page are providing someplace people want to go. Now, Dan Russell, my Mayor Pro Tem Dan Russell, was asked about it. He said, look, I'm not hearing a lot of people talk to me about the hours, you know. And somebody was saying, do you see the Lynn Haven neighbors page? And he said, well, you know, I look at it every now and then from time to time. Here's what he said.
As far as the Lynn Haven neighbors page, yes, I read it, but I take it as a grain of salt, because anybody can create a fake Facebook page, or they can spoof a Facebook page. So if somebody doesn't call me directly or contact me directly, I take it, I read it for content value, but I'm not going to make a decision based on what's on Facebook. Thank you, ma'am.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Anybody can make a fake Facebook page. I mean, who knows, right? Maybe there's 2.6 thousand Lynn Haven residents that are very active and now much more informed than they were before. Anybody can create a fake page on Facebook. Now, boy, don't I know about that. I've had fake pages created about me, pretending to be me. So there is a fake page, actually. And this is the craziest part. The fake page is a fake account where somebody is pretending to be just somebody else. But it's really a campaign manager for one of the 3 mayoral candidates. That's right. Here you go. This is for one of the candidates. And that's the campaign manager for all of the establishment local politicians. If you vote ever for a candidate that Arthur Cullen is the campaign manager for, and you find out later he's got fake accounts and he smears people and he drags them through the mud, then you're not paying attention. Here's a good, if you don't have time to study politics, local politics, here's what I recommend. Whoever Arthur Cullen is smearing, vote for that person. And right now, they're smearing or trying to smear. There's nothing to smear. The lady running for mayor, who I think is the only reasonable choice. As a matter of fact, I have said her name is Ellen Fields. That's the only reasonable candidate, because you can't vote for an Arthur Cullen candidate, a candidate whose campaign manager is Alex Cantone on Facebook. By the way, if anyone was ever nasty to you, it was Alex Cantone. Now the Facebook account has been deleted now that he's been found out again. But the other candidate for mayor, his name is Joe Brown. Here is why Joe Brown is not, I mean, he's not an option, okay? I don't want to sit here and run people down. I don't know Joe Brown. He just doesn't appear, would you agree, to be the right candidate for mayor of Lynn Haven. I mean, is that right? That's all I'm saying. Could be a great guy in every way, but not there, not in that way. Not mayor of Lynn Haven. And Arthur Cullen sure shouldn't have his guy be the mayor of Lynn Haven. That leaves one person. If you want change, if you want reform, it's got to be Ellen Fields for mayor. Am I right or wrong? Hey, I should be looking at your comments. Let's see. Oh, audio. Okay, you can hear me now, right? All right. You see what I go through? I just forgot to click the button is all, because I'm clicking all the other stuff. I can't do them at the same time. I'm just learning. I'm just learning how to run this ship at the same time as actually talking with you. So, do you want to see one last thing before I go? And by the way, these are the commission. There's 2 commission candidates that I recommend, highly recommend. The first one is this guy, Jamie Warwick. He's running for city commissioner. He's an Air Force veteran. He cares about the budget. Should you care about the budget? Let me tell you. Lynn Haven had $2 million in debt in 2015. Right now, $71 million. $71 million. Jamie Warwick's talking about that. Jamie Warwick and Ellen Fields for mayor, They're talking about the biggest issue is public corruption, is exploding debt for the city. Biggest issue. The other candidates, the establishment types, oh, they're strategic planners, right? They want to, all the stuff you always hear. They're great fathers, they say, and great husbands and all that stuff. I want the candidates that says it appears there's serious corruption here and we got to fix it. The other commission race that I highly recommend is this guy, Brian Gray. Brian Gray has 2 master's degrees, a bachelor's degree, 4 combat tours. He is a certified counselor for the VA right now. And by the way, he's the only candidate I've heard so far who's mentioned his conservative values in the Constitution. Brian Gray is definitely who I think. I mean, if you want to clean up Lynn Haven, right? If you want somebody who isn't afraid of some contractors, I would say it's probably a guy who has 4 tours of combat. Probably a guy who's lived in Lynn Haven almost his whole life. I'll talk about those guys more tomorrow. But before I go, I want to share this with you. First of all, if you haven't done this yet, I hope you will. I hope that you'll share this because the information I'm giving you, you're not going to hear from local media. Right? You're not. So I hope that you'll do that. And also, I want to share with you this. This was a letter that James Finch wrote to the Lynn Haven Commission. And just interesting, right? So James Finch was implicated in indictments, and the city of Lynn Haven continued to do business with him. And now that he's actually been, he was implicated in indictments. Now that he's actually been indicted and will have to stand trial, he wrote a letter. He wrote a letter to the commissioners because they got themselves in this position. And the mayor pro tem, Dan Russell, read the letter. And James Finch is no dummy. James Finch told them, well, he told them this.
Mr. Finch's, attitude is toward this. It says, "Dear Vicky, I would like to inform the commission that escrowing my payment is not considered a payment on the city's note with me. At the time of escrow, the note will be due in full. Our 18% interest will be charged until the payments resume. My attorney, Jack Williams, has spoken with the city attorney on this issue, and they both agree that the note would be due and payable as the agreement requires. I would remind the city commission that Dan Russell has voted yes 3 times on this issue and not once to fill the mayor's seat or his own commission seat. Also, I understand that the city is preparing for the 4th of July events. As for the $20,000 I have donated in the past to help those events, you can count me out. Sincerely, James Finch." I'm leaving this commission in a month, possibly 2 months, but I hope this commission considers never accepting those kinds of gifts from a citizen ever again. I don't care what the reasoning is, but we don't ever want to put this city in the position where a citizen thinks he has some control or power over the city because he donates. That being said, I'd like to open this up.
No kidding. So what would happen is the big developer, James Finch, he'd walk up there with a $20,000 check every year and hand it right over to them. I'll be back at the next meeting. Hope you'll consider me for the contracts. And the city would take it. And he would always do it too. But now he says, maybe we should never do that again. Anybody who comes in after me, don't ever do that again. I want to tell you something. I take great pride in telling you what's going on around here when others don't. And it's cost me a lot. Some of you know the story. But if you see government corruption and you have evidence of government corruption, I want to know about it. Some of you have told me. And the 14th Circuit here in Florida, the court in Bay County, has upheld my journalistic privilege. And so all tips are confidential. And it has led to some really incredible stories. Some of you see a lot of stuff, and I want to encourage you, that's how you can get it to me. Also, if you like what I'm doing, here's how you can support it. You can become a patron and support Watchdog Journalism, which I've been doing for a long time, and I'm determined to continue doing, especially now that we're on the verge of really cleaning up some Bay County government corruption. Thank God that the FBI has been looking at this. They are looking at a lot of cities in Bay County: Panama City Beach, the Bay District Schools, Panama City, the County Commission. I mean, you would not believe how far and wide and deep the corruption is in Bay County. And I hope that we can finally make a difference, but it really does start with us. You know, somebody says, you know, it's whose fault is it? You know, it's the politicians' fault, right? The ones who don't live up to their values. Well, they probably live up to their values. The ones who don't live up to the right values, don't honor their oath of office, it's really their fault. You know, you can have contractors and developers offer all the gifts in the world, but it's up to them to say, no, I don't know. I represent the people. You got to give a damn. You can't destroy your own city and think America is going to be okay. Do you know why America is in turmoil? Because this happens all over the place. Well, we'll just do it here. Everybody else, you know, it's just here, right? It's just Lynn Haven. It's just Chinatown, Jake. It's not just Lynn Haven. If it's wrong here, it's wrong everywhere, and it hurts America. We need candidates who know that. And if they're associated with Arthur Cullen, you should never vote for them. And if they've been implicated in financial problems in other cities, they don't belong there. I hope that Lynn Haven does the right thing and votes for Ellen Fields for mayor. Tomorrow, I'll tell you a little bit more about the two commission candidates. But for now, I think that's going to wrap it up. Thank you for being with me, and I will see you soon.